Welcome. This is the first episode of Grown Women Talk here on the Justly YouTube channel. So I hope you enjoy our first conversation with artist and arts educator Jana M. Cardwell as she shares her experiences working in the charter schools. Y'all, what is going on in these schools? Stay tuned. It's Justly here, where our business is your business.
So, Jana, recently you have somewhat temporarily retired from teaching.
I would say totally retired from teaching.
Totally retired because you are a professional artist and you're going to be working towards doing more in your art field.
Yes.
Yeah. So you and I have talked many times about what's going on in the school system and in education and what's going on with our youth. We talk a lot about this because we both have an extensive background working with youth. So I really wanted you to share with people some of your most recent circumstances as an art teacher is that a charter school?
At a charter school.
Yeah.
I was hired as an art teacher, and when I first met her, she was cool. She was okay, but then I noticed that she always seen herself as an artist, but not an artist.
So you're talking about who?
Talking about the principal of the school.
The principal of the school. Okay. Yeah.
Principal. She's the principal. She is the counselor, and she is also HR. So if I have any complaints, I can't really complain because she'll be a part of it. So she just started acting funny towards me, especially when the kids had success with the Amina project that I first did, because we went to the museum when she had her artwork there, and I talked all about Amina and the stuff that was going on. And she just seemed to get a little weird about it because I met her.
Amina, so everyone will know who Amina is.
Huh?
Can you clarify who Amina is?
Amina Robinson is an African American artist, a folk artist. She told history of where she grew up here in Columbus, Ohio, and she was a wonderful woman. She slept, drank, ate, dreamed nothing but art. And when you go and visit her, the first thing she'll say is, "Where's your sketchbook? If you're an artist, you have a sketchbook." And so she was very nice. She loved to teach, and she loved to tell everybody how they should, work on their artwork, work on the talent God gave you. It's important. Up till her last day, she was working on art projects. She in her house, every room in her house was full of art. And if you look up Amina Robinson, you will find a lot of information about her and her artwork. She goes from realism all the way down to folk art. She graduated from Columbus College of Art and Design before it was named Columbus College of Art and Design.
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yes. And there's a picture of her in class. Okay. And so it's before they named it that. It was some other name about art, going to college for art. She didn't graduate, but she went on her own, traveling all over the world with her art. She became famous outside of Columbus, Ohio. Then when she made a name for herself, she came back. Then all of a sudden they wanted everything to do with her. Before, you didn't pay attention to her. Mm-hmm. And so I met her in person. She's a very nice person. She was into her art big time. That was her thing. Always do your art. And sometimes I think I hear her voice, "Where's your sketchbook? Why aren't you doing your artwork? Why are you working here?" There's a time where we working, because she worked for Columbus Parks and Rec and taught art. She even taught kids how to paint with mud and made her own clay, Mod Podge clay that she put together. So she was very artistic, natural type artist. That your surrounding things can become art. So I got into teaching art when I was in college, and remember that we were trying to get her to come to our college, to speak, but they wouldn't allow her to come. Mm-hmm. But I met her later on in my life. So
talking
the
about
Amina Robinson piece, we had movies on her. We listened to the current artists here in Columbus that knew her was talking about her work and what she does. Mm-hmm. And so they did a art project where they did a portrait, and we had material, thread, all kinds of things, sticks, rocks that they wanted to add to their portrait after looking at her things, her artwork. And it came out really nice. And my boss wouldn't give me any art supplies. She wouldn't give me any paper to do it on. So we did on cardboard, whatever watercolor paper somebody donated. But it was always not enough because I only had enough for maybe one class, maybe not even a whole class. And then when she seen how successful I was, she was very angry. Hung everything in the hallway. We had an online art project to do. So I did an art show. We had an online art show. She was upset that it came out really nice. And then we went on and we did a Christmas thing with the kids. And that was successful because my mother-in-law had tons of Christmas stuff. And I used that for them to learn how to do Christmas, did quite a few projects. Each class did a different project. Then she would never say, "Oh, Miss Cardwell, that was nice. You did this. That was great. That was so creative." She would never say that. Mm-hmm. The teachers that were on her side went her way. Like I didn't know what I was doing and all this kind of stuff. But the thing of it is, I'm being creative with what I have, and the kids are busy. Teachers have a break. And you constantly have nasty things to say to me, or, when I first had my locks done and I started getting it done like somebody doing styles and stuff. Mm-hmm. She would say, "Oh, your locks look terrible. You should never look." I was like, "What?"
This is a school principal.
A school principal
who is making comments about your appearance in a derogatory manner, not a professional.
Not professional, no, because she has the same length of locks that I have. She just dyed hers blonde. I choose not to. I think I got a little color in there, the gray, and I want to rock the gray. She just, when I say I need supplies, I don't have money for supplies. So normally somebody would come and drop something off at my door, and then I would do my lesson plans according to what I had. So I said, no supplies, no lesson plan. So I would come in and do a lesson. They would get upset. Then I would have, at the end of the year, we do a big art show, and I have all the hallways full of artwork, and parents come by, and the kids get to go down the hallway to the gym for graduation. And she praised the gym teacher. She praised the each individual teacher, but my name was never mentioned. But thankfully, me as Miss Cardwell, I don't need you to pat me on the back. My joy is finding the joy in the kids' eyes when they actually find out they can do something and that they get the art project. And other people are looking at their art projects saying, "Oh, that's very nice," because see, they don't know that they offer anything to the world through art. They offer a lot, and they're excited when people say, "Oh, this is beautiful. Oh, this is wonderful." Even if their parents don't say it.
Can we talk? Do you feel comfortable talking more about what kind of school this is? Because I would imagine people would wonder, what kind of school is this where a teacher who is an art teacher who needs supplies to be able to teach would not be receiving that, a teacher who's not receiving any support morally or professionally from their administrator. What kind of school is this? Do you feel comfortable talking about that?
Yes, I do. It's a charter school. Mm-hmm. And it comes out of Washington, D.C. They came here 3 years ago and started a school. And they hired a principal, have no experience in being a principal at all. We come into the school and I say, "We need school-wide rules." "No, we're not. We're not going to have any school-wide rules. Stop trying to make it hard on me." It's like, everybody in here, teachers meeting, we can all get together and have a classroom rules, a whole school rules. So the kids will know, because every other school I've been to, the kids would tell you, if you do this and this, you'll be suspended. If you do this and this, they'll let you go home for 3 days. You do this and this, you can really get in trouble and it affects your grade.
Right.
No, she never had that. Now, this school has kids who are autistic. It has kids who are mentally handicapped. There's kids that have behavioral problems, emotional behavioral problems. They need help, and she can't help them. Every kid that came in there, and I told her these kids are not going to do well in this school, gave her royal problems.
Mm.
Some of them even to bringing the police in. And then we have kids who are autistic that are not getting any help. They're just thrown into a classroom because they need numbers.
Where do they get the kids from?
Parents find them because they either got kicked out of another school or they didn't like how the kid was being treated. So they bring them to our school, and then she's like, okay, well, she's not going to say anything what the kid does or how things are going or how the parents is or how you see things with the kids that there's a problem. And then, she don't want to say anything because she don't want them to pull the kid out. So the other thing is, I don't see these kids that have dyslexia that need help reading, that need help. They're not getting any help at all. I seen then the next year, I seen her go ahead and push the kid to the next grade because, mama don't want him to hang back. Mama wants him to go to the next grade. So mama he goes to the next grade and still doesn't know what he's doing. And, sometimes the teachers are too sarcastic with these kids. And, it hurts their feelings. And then you start not seeing them come to school, but she won't call a truant officer. We had one little boy that lived behind the school building that barely came to school. If he jumped the fence, he would be right there at school, but he barely came to school. Then when I said something to the young boy, I said, when you come here, it's okay. But when you come to art class and you've been gone all week, I'm not going to have anything for you to work on. We went home to mom's mad at me, but what am I supposed to do is work? And it's the same with the teacher trying to do writing and have catalogs and have journals for writing. And he's not there. She doesn't have anything to grade, but he gets passed on. Or if they don't get passed on, she will take him out that school and put him in another school. But he's still on the roster because remember, she needs numbers. So going to this last year, we get a kid that's very violent. And I told her, he's not a good fit for this school. Well, the second week of school, he tears up a 3rd grade classroom. It looked like a grown man did it. And I told her, no, he's not good for this school. And then we have another kid that's Jew. He is autistic, and he has not had any type of discipline or homegrown rules, because I believe he can follow rules, because when I say no, he knows that he's wrong. And so mom just gives him a phone whenever there's a problem. So when he comes to the classroom, it's like a 2-year-old there, and he wants to hang on you, and it's not his fault.
So there's no crisis intervention.
No, there's no intervention teacher. Every time they come, they're older. She tries to get them fired.
So let's trace back the charter school. You said it came to Columbus. Do these schools receive government funding?
Not yet. They're working on grants right now. They may get, now this is one thing I didn't check on before, I didn't know before I left, is if you have someone who is dyslexic, handicapped, or emotional, or anything like that, you get a check for them kids. And so
the school does.
The school gets a check. I honestly don't see where the money is. We have no janitor. And then they hired a janitor. He only does the floors in the bathroom, and it looks like he does a bathroom and the floors with the same dirty mop. Teachers clean the room. So I always said, nope, I got my classroom. My classroom was always clean. That's one thing she couldn't say to me. It was my classroom was not clean. And then we don't have a nurse.
No nurse with the
COVID. No counselor. No counselor. The school is dirty because it's an old school. And so there's other bathrooms that are not they can't go in and use them because they need to fix them and they didn't. So they only got a girl's bathroom and a boy's bathroom. Boys has 3 stalls and a girl's bathroom has, I think, 6 stalls. And that's it. So when something goes wrong or the toilets go bad, then we're in trouble.
So who's profiting from this school?
Washington.
So the organization that's behind it.
I don't know if the people on the board are being paid, but talking to someone about this that had to shut down a charter school said they probably are. They probably are getting paid.
Well, yeah, because it sounds like,
Because all of them are white, and you got these white people in Washington coming here opening a school, and they can care less about the Black kids.
So they're marketing the school like in ads on the TV?
Barely.
Okay.
They mostly pass out little, like at the library, they'll have a little card talking about Shepherd, and it's nice pictures, but that's not what the school looks like.
Okay.
Dirty. And kids, we had 4 kids last year that said we will not be coming back because they said my kid was sick half of the year because of COVID and then all the colds and stuff. Now I always had wipes in my room. Between each class, I would wipe down the tables. Each kid had pencils, they had markers, and they had color pencils. And they had their own glue stick. And I try not to let them share nothing.
Yeah.
And then, you know, they would say, oh, people aren't cleaning their rooms. I said, I clean my room. They got a box in that room with their name on it that has their stuff in it.
Who paid for the cleaning supplies?
They did at the beginning, but after that, I've been buying them. Well, I can't remember the name of the cleaner that they had. Fabulasso. Fabulasso? Well, I can't remember.
I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah. They got the wrong one because after you would clean, you come in your room, it smelled nasty. Or it could be a combination of that and the oldness of the school.
Okay. So this school has approximately how many students?
When we first started, 66, and then when the end of the year, we had 70. The second year, same numbers. This year, she claimed we have 150, but when I look at the roster, I'm going to say I'm giving her a few. I would say it's about 65. We get new kids coming in. They don't come to school half the time. We don't never see them, so we don't know if they're in school or not, but she won't say nothing. She won't call truancy on them. Oh, let me give you this information. Most of the kids that were in the school was her family. Her dad works for her. He gets paid money and he's there working. He says he does filing and stuff. No, it's to take care of her baby because she want to put the baby in a daycare. And then she hired a building sub. I don't know why. She can't get sub license. She told me that if I took off, building sub wasn't for me. The teachers wouldn't have a break. And I'm thinking, well, they won't have a break because something happened to my mama or my husband or my kids. I'm like, I'm gone. Well, you only work 4 hours. Well, why are you getting me to sub when you have a building sub? And then you have a vice principal, which is like vice principal / reading teacher or whatever's her best friend. And I was like, she's at the door. Let her go ahead and sub. She can see once they get out of the classroom, they don't want to go back in. Now they'll say it's not true. It's not true. Yes, it is, because every time you sub, you will come down at the end of the day crying.
What would you say? I wanted to ask you, what would you say to parents who maybe they've already had a bad experience at a charter school, at a regular,
like a city school?
City school. What should parents do to educate their children? Because there seems to be a lot more options now.
First off, if you're dyslexic or autistic or divergent mind, there's a law that's been passed in Ohio that you're supposed to give accommodations. You're supposed to make sure that kid has the teacher and the help in the schools. But if you don't tell, you don't go and complain, they're not going to do anything. They know these charter schools aren't doing anything. Even in Columbus, the Ohio Department of Education has a department for charter schools that you need to go tell, but they have you write out this long thing. And then I don't care because if they say my name, but these parents is more for parents to say because your kid is not learning. You got autistic kids moving up the grades, and when they're in class, they do nothing. Some of them can't even write or, and then mom and them, they're happy because some parents are got a break from that kid. When I look at it this way, it hurts the kids and it hurts my heart because I know how it is to be divergent.
Mm-hmm.
I know how it is when people look at you weird or you don't get that extra help or you work for a company and you say you need accommodations and they don't give you the accommodations.
Right.
They just, like I told her, if you can flip my everything on my computer to look upside down, I can read faster and better and comprehend it.
Is that what divergent is? Because I see these things on Facebook where the entire script is upside down and I read it just as normally as I would. I didn't even know that
I didn't know that until I was helping my daughter with her homework and she was reading the book and I was standing on the other side and I seen it upside down and I can read it a lot.
Yeah.
better. And I catch everything.
Does that have something to do with being an artist too?
It may have that because we see the negative and positive spaces.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've noticed that I can read things upside down and yeah, there's a lot of things, a lot of interesting things that in our generation of growing up, they didn't have labels for all of the different
No, because they
types of
just said learning
children.
disability.
Yeah, all the different I hate calling it disability, but
Well,
there's
a
just
learning, they would call it a learning disability. I know that's what they would say, that I had
yeah,
a learning
yeah.
disability.
But
And
I
like
think it's just different brains. We have our brains are all
everything.
wired differently.
Yes.
And we that's what I like about art with kids and allowing them to create and explore. And it's interesting the things that they come up with. I might have a whole idea of what I want the kids to do, and they take it to a whole different area,
They
which
do.
is amazing. Well, I'm so thankful for you to share this experience. I think we need to have these conversations about what's going on. We need to hear from teachers. We always hear about teachers.
A lot
In
of
a
times when people say about the teacher, they don't know. And then you want to protect your kid, which is good, but sometimes your kid can make a liar out of you. Even if they're on video, they
Yeah,
still say that's my kid. They're wearing the same clothing standing beside you. That's not my. You're not helping the kid
yeah,
because a
yeah.
lot of these kids are very smart. Like the
Mhm,
young man I was just talking about, he's very smart, and
mhm.
they just need somebody to work with them. And if you don't have if the school doesn't have somebody to do that, and you're just looking for a break, well, when they turn teenagers, you want to deal with that.
Yeah, yeah. So are you say, do you feel like maybe other charter schools, or charter schools in general don't, well, definitely the one you were working at doesn't have the best structure
No, because
for
they're
the
looking
kids.
for numbers.
They're looking for numbers.
150 kids to get money from the government, to get the money that they can get from the Columbus City schools, like the vouchers and stuff, they'll be able to get them once they get 150 kids. But each
Okay.
year, I think it goes up.
Okay.
This is their third year. And I asked for a part time. She made me part time, but she says only 20K a year. And I said, now look, if you make me 30, 35, then I can help you more. I can be that extra person
Hmm.
stuff. But I'm an art teacher, so I'm not really a teacher. I've been told that so many times as, oh, you're not really a teacher. Oh, you didn't go for education, but I know art.
Hmm.
And I know
Art
how
is
to,
education.
yeah, I can teach it.
Hmm.
So
I think when people hear the word art, they think of painting, drawing.
Yeah.
Just, they don't understand the
elements of
meaning
art.
behind it. And I guess it's going to be up to us to get the message out there of all the things that art can do. Maybe that's a conversation we could have next time we talk.
That would be great. When I was at Will Harvest, I had some people who thought, oh, engineer, oh, doctor, oh, nurse. And I had explained to them, well, if they can think outside the box and they know their color, when they open a person as a surgeon, they have to know what shape that organ should be, what color it's good, if it's healthy or not, what they can and cannot. They have to learn that. And that's art. It's the same with a pharmacist when they have like syrup and they're mixing it up and it should be purple, but if they give somebody red, they may kill them. It's all art. You think outside the box. You can do anything. Engineer is an artist. Anything. Mm-hmm. Everything you see, an artist had to touch it first.
Well, art appears everywhere we are. It is a part of everything we do. Mm-hmm. And I think I'm glad you brought that up, because maybe we should do more. We should have a conversation next time we have our conversations about art is everything. Everything is art. I think I made a video that was called that or something. And yeah. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
And how can people find your art, Jana?
On Instagram, JanaJ.63.
I will make sure to put that in the description box and maybe a link to being able to access your beautiful art. And so as an educator, thank you and as a friend, thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you to Cardwell Communications for providing the format, the hosting this for you.
Yes. Well, we got to say too, Lisa, you're a wonderful artist also and an art teacher.
Well, thank you. I tried.
We started teaching art together in college.
We did. We used to ride the art van. One of these days, we'll have to start telling stories. We're going to start telling stories here on this channel.
It was fun and hilarious.
I'm ready to start talking and telling stories. Yeah.
We also need to talk about the person that drove us around. She was an awesome woman.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Miss Orlando.
Yeah, just cracking up, always trying to find places. Oh, we can go here and eat. We can go do this.
That was the best part of the trip, was really the person who drove the van. All right, Jana. So she was already letting me know that, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I will be talking to you soon. You have get some rest today, girlfriend, please.
I'll try.
All right. Have a great day.
You too. You get some rest too.
I will. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Well, if you watched this far, thank you. And if you would please hit that subscribe button, which will help us be able to interview and talk to more people, professional entrepreneurs, and interesting people who are doing positive things in their communities. Thank you so much for our first broadcast of the Grown Women Talk podcast. Thank you, and see you next time.